Hi, this is Sue talking today about lavender since it's the 2020 National Garden Bureau's choice for an herb this year. Lavender is a beautiful plant to use. It's not for our zone, but we still love trying and growing it, and we know all the fun things about lavender. So today I'm going to talk out in the garden a little bit about the lavender plant. I'm right next to a plant that looks like a lavender plant, but we don't have any lavender blooming right now. But if you were in a field of lavender, this is what it would look like. This is catmint, which is also nice to use. But my lavender plant is a new little plant, and it has a silvery foliage. It started from cuttings. Like I said, it's for zone 5. It likes a well-drained soil. So here's a trick that Diane Burns taught us. She would dig a hole big enough, put some gravel in the bottom first, and then the plant, so that if it was too wet, rain or watered too much, it would drain through the rocks. So that's a trick. And one thing is, if it's for wintering, that's where you lose your lavender plants, is make sure that you do a little mulching around it at the base. Lavender is grown for its flowers. It's related to the mint family. It comes from the Latin verb to wash. It has that beautiful fragrance. Even the foliage now has that nice lavender fragrance. But when you get the flowers, usually you pick them early morning when they're just starting to open. And then if you're going to use fresh flowers, or you can dry them and you use the oil. You can use the flowers in foods, tea. It's a calming. I could use a lot of lavender to calm down in my life here. It's originally used, first found in 77 AD by the Romans. It was for repelling insects, and we could use that with the mosquito population. I'm fine right now, but they are out. But it went from everything from the bathing rituals in Rome. They used to cleanse. They used it to ward off bed bugs. They would actually sow the flowers of the lavender in their sheets, in their bedding, and they claimed that that prevented bed bugs. It was around when the Black Plague was around, and they used that lavender oil to help prevent the illness. It said that you could cure a headache by putting a drop of lavender oil on a sugar cube, and that might be something someone would like to try. It grows in milder climates. It's more of a Mediterranean type perennial. If you get a chance, it's along Lake Michigan in Door County. There's beautiful lavender fields, and everybody dreams of that. But in our area, it's a little more challenged, but we love trying it. It's used to go to sleep at night, to calm you down. You can, some little hints I've learned, you could drop the lavender buds, dry ones, on your carpet when you vacuum and get that natural fragrance, instead of using the perfumed oils that you buy in the store. Bees love it. It makes a great honey. You can get a lavender honey, and it's used for the bees when they pollinate it. Some of the traditions of lavender is for devotion, luck, grace. Like I said, there's lots of people that did a lot of studies on the lavender, but I said it ranges from distrust was one of the words used. The Shakers used it, were the first to sell it in markets around the world. It is fragrant. It might be deer resistant. The deer don't usually go by it because it holds its fragrance for a while. It doesn't like wet, humid conditions, so like that Mediterranean climate. So if I was going to start a new one, I would take this cutting, take off some of the foliage on the bottom, and stick it in a moist soil with mist. I mean, you couldn't do it in a home, but we have a greenhouse where we do our propagating, and that's where we start. They start out about this size in January, and we went through the first crop, and so this is a new crop that we have growing. If you get it in your garden, you know, this time of year, you can get it by the fall time, then mulch around it, and hopefully you have it in a good spot and it'll work. I mean, there are beautiful perennials with the same looks that are more hardy, but everybody dreams of that lavender in their garden. So it might be worth a try, as it is the plant of the year for the herbs. So try a lavender, and don't forget that our Herb Fest this year is just viral. We'll miss you talking in person, but come again. We'll try it again next year in person. Here's a perennial lavender. It's Cynthia Johnson. One of our workers, Sean, gave it to us, and we're using it as our stock planted to create some new. She's had it winter over at her home. Once the flowers are done, we'll start taking the cuttings and use it to make new ones. It is the pretty blue lavender flower, and it's just starting to open up here, but it's called Cynthia Johnson.